Welcome, everybody. Today I am joined by Jay from Spiritually Raw. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. And we're just going to talk a little bit about ASEA and in my own personal journey the last few weeks. So should I jump right into my testimony, or do you want to talk a little bit about the product first?
Yeah, so for those watching, I would say that what you're about to watch is what many of us feel is the breakthrough of our lifetime. We feel like it's a miracle. We feel like it's something that comes from some sort of off-world source technology, if you would, which is, we refer to a lot of it as like the elixir of the gods or the med bed in the bottle. So what you're about to watch or hear about more so is a company called ASEA, who has been able to master this technology called redox, which is something that's already within us, right? And so redox is the body's ability to be able to let the cells know when there's a crisis. And to put that in perspective, Emmie, is that when you imagine, if you come to this lifetime and you were born with like one tank of gas, right? And that tank of gas is redox. So what happens is that after you hit puberty, that tank of gas starts to go down, down, down. Okay. And that's kind of letting the cells know, okay, well, hey, you got a problem over here. You got a problem over here. So imagine like falling off a bike at 13 years old, you kind of dust it off. But then imagine trying to fall off that bike at 33, 43, 53, 63. As time goes on, you're not going to dust it off. That's because the body's ability to be able to signal the cells as you get older when there's a crisis starts to get weaker and weaker and weaker. The signaling gets weaker. What the redox does, which is this blue bottle right here, is it amplifies that signaling back to the area. So it allows you to have that same kind of communication. So when we were younger, okay. So what's been missing for so many people is this. A lot of people think in terms of like, this is wrong, or I'm going through this, or I'm going through this aging process, or I have this going on with me. And a lot of it's not so much that, it's that if things aren't dealt with at a cellular level, people just keep the same thing. I mean, whether it's medicine or whether it's just organic supplements, whatever, people just start taking stuff and they keep stacking one on top of another because they're not dealing with the root cause. This is what deals with the root cause, which is ourselves. So
Okay, awesome. Yeah, awesome. Great analogy. I know I I watched a video before I ordered, and I can't seem to find it. I don't know, I don't know if it was you that sent it to me, or I'm not sure who sent it to me, but the analogy in there really caught my attention. Is like, if you have a house fire in the middle of the night, right? There's plenty of help out there, fire department, volunteer firefighters, plenty of people to come and help put your house out, put the fire out. But if you don't have a cell communication signal and you can't call the fire department, you can't get any help. And what the redox does is it's that signal. And it's funny that they use that analogy because it's a signal. It's a cell signal.
it is a cell signal.
If you don't have a cell signal to call to tell somebody your house is on fire, they're not going to come, right? If you don't have the cell signaling, different cell, but if you don't have the cell signaling, then your body's repair system doesn't know where to go to repair.
Yeah, it really is like that. And look, we've been spending all these years, all these lifetimes, I mean, this lifetime anyway, just trying to figure out like, you know what? It's like, people just strive to people just want to feel better. They want to feel better, mind, body, spirit. They don't want to be in pain. They don't want to be in discomfort. They want to feel like there's a purpose. So, you know, it's been as, I don't want to say it's been as simple as this, but it is as simple as this. It's been as simple as activating ourselves. It's like we get to hit the reset button again. So in addition to the anti-aging benefits that come along with using ASEA, you're going to feel it. I mean, people are going to know, they're going to feel that sense of well-being, but we believe in it's unlocking a lot of other things within us. Our intuition, if you would, our connection with our faith, our universe seems to be very real. It's not just a thing we go to and just say, okay, well, this is how we're supposed to believe or whatnot. It's a real phenomenon. So this is making us really take a look at life and really start to enjoy this life and vibrate at a very high level of consciousness. And when you can vibrate at a high level of consciousness, then you start to attract the good things in your life. So, I mean, my motivator for even looking at this, you know, we have a show called Spiritually Raw, as you mentioned, and everybody sends us everything, lotions, potions, and shakes. I mean, we've tried everything, right? And we're super grateful because people send it to us. They want us to talk about it on the show. But there got to be a point in time where me and April were like probably on like 10 different supplements. You know what I mean? We were just taking them, and then so we're feeling pretty good. And but the thing was is that we weren't able to identify why we were feeling good, number one. And we were afraid to always take away that one thing because it could have been just that one thing that made it all work. So we kept taking everything, right? So at 51, I was like, you know what? I don't really want to do that forever. You know, I don't want to really feel like I'm walking, even though it's supplements, I still don't want to feel like I'm having to, okay, take this after lunch, take this twice a day, take, you know, all that whole merry-go-round of that. So I went to a seminar, and, you know, I know a lot of you seen videos with Dr. David Silverman. I went to a seminar where he spoke at, and I met him, and, you know, it just made sense to me. It made sense like, hey, you know what? No, you're right. Nobody is addressing these things. So I did try this. And for me, my motivator was this. I was like, okay, well, I'm 51. I feel pretty damn good. And I just want to continue to feel good. I want something that's going to make me feel good at the top of my game. Here's what happened. After a few months, organically, maybe I take like 2 supplements anymore. And what's so liberating is I know what I'm taking, why I'm taking it. It's a really liberating, freeing effect. So that's number one. Number two, I feel like I'm in my 20s. Okay. I really do. I feel like I operate in my 20s. I function. I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I'm just more on point. I mean, I'm tapped into my universe. I mean, life is really good. And I really attribute it to this. I believe this has unlocked a lot of things that not only for myself, but so many other people, because I talk to them, that give them a better quality of life. I mean, you know, we call it living younger longer. So people are legitimately living younger longer. So I would say, you know, I don't think I'm the only person that takes a bunch of stuff that they don't know why they're taking it. You know, I think you know, I think it's just what we do. But I think that, you know, this is a very well a real solution to helping you get back in touch with what your body is, and realizing that, you know, you're, you know, if you subscribe to the fact that you're a spirit having a human experience, and we're just trying this body out right now, so let's just make the best of it. You know, we need something to help us make the best of it. So then there's this, right? And then there's this Renew 28, which everybody seems to love. I do. This is like April, my wife did a video on this called a facelift from the heavens. You know, it tightens things up, and but it's the same as this. So this you drink, it works from the inside out. It's going to go wherever there's a crisis in the body. This, let's say you say, okay, this is twice as strong as this, by the way. So let's say you said, okay, well, hey, you know, my shoulder doesn't, you know, it's got sucks, whatever. So you rub this on the shoulder, and you'll watch within minutes how all of a sudden that discomfort maybe isn't there anymore. Then there's another level of this, and I don't even know if you know about this, but they have what's called Renew Advanced, and this is twice as strong as this is twice as strong. You see what I mean? So it just keeps getting the better, the technology. It's a company called ASEA is the only one that's mastered this technology called ASEA in our planet. They're the only ones who have it. So we're sitting on this technology where everybody can have a better life. Everybody can attract goodness into their life. Everybody can feel better. I mean, the things that used to cause you irritations or hinder you in life. I mean, one miracle after another. I mean, people are saying, you know.
Yeah, that's amazing. You know, from a standpoint of supplements, and you were talking about supplements, I know I've been through a lot of different series of supplements. In 2017, I came off all of the pharmaceuticals that I was on, and I fired my doctor, and it was really quite a turning point in my spiritual awakening. And I turned to supplements to help me with the fibromyalgia. That the diagnosis was given to me because they couldn't figure anything else out. And I'm sure that happens to a lot of people. And I'm not negating that fibromyalgia isn't real. It's very, very real. It affected my life on every level. However, anyway, I'll digress if I go down that tangent. So I tried a bunch of supplements, and they worked, and they got me to a point, and then I'd try something else, and it'd get me to a point, and I'd try something else. But what was interesting to me is that they only work, any given supplement only works to the level that your body is able to absorb it and use it. If your gut is like totally messed up, you're not going to be able to assimilate what's in these supplements, right? Well, what was interesting to me with the ASEA is that it's not a nutritional supplement. It is something that is used by your body. Any cell at all, any cell from any area in your body is like, hey, I need help over here. And your body's support system, immune system will go to that area and help it out. Like that is unheard of. I've never heard of a supplement like that. And that's not really considered nutrition. But what I was thinking is, if that's what's happening, then couldn't the ASEA help the supplements you are taking work better? Like,
Yeah, that's been my experience. And I really do believe that. And as a matter of fact, we've actually had some people who own a lot of these supplement companies, you know what I mean? They'll even say, look, ASEA makes our product work better. Because like what you said, Emmie, it's only as good as the body to be able to deliver at a cellular level. It really is. I mean, you could take the fanciest thing in the world and the most expensive designer supplement that's out there, and it's got all 99-star reviews, whatever like that. But whatever, it's just if it's not getting to the cells, it's just not going to work. It's not going to work to the
right,
point it needs to be. So, and again, I like, what's fascinating about ASEA is like, yeah, they have their own supplements, because people buy from them, whatever. But at the end of the day, the core of their foundation is that they're not they have redox. That's their thing. It's not a nutrient. It's not a supplement. It's saying, hey, let's make your, I mean, imagine you taking a supplement, but it just kind of sits there. You still need someone to deliver it. So ASEA, if you think of ASEA as the delivery system, which makes all that money and everything that you're spending on these supplements, take it to where it needs to go for God. Whatever brand your favorite brand of the month is, use that. This is not about that, but you still need the delivery system to make this all work. Or else
yeah,
it's just, again, that's why people are always like, I talk to people every single day. I mean, it's like, oh yeah, I'm on 15 different supplements, and they don't know why, but that's what we do because you just want to feel better. All I'm here to say with your show, and I want to thank you for having me on, is that there's hope out there. We believe there's a real solution. We believe this company's cracked the code. We believe they've absolutely cracked the code, and we believe in our lifetime we're sitting on a miracle in our lifetime. A real legitimate breakthrough.
that's amazing. I know I'm quite impressed with it thus far. I'll share my testimony a little bit. So, my viewers know that I am very real and raw and authentic, and I will share very personal stuff that has happened in my life or that is currently going on in my life. And I'm going to share this example. Shortly after I started taking the ASEA, I found out that I was having a miscarriage. And the fact that I even got pregnant is a miracle. I'm 46 years old. I had my tubes taken out, for Pete's sakes. Okay. So that was a miracle in and of itself. I've had a miscarriage before, so I do have reference. As difficult as that was to go through, emotionally, the grief, you don't know. Consciously, you don't know, but your body knows. A woman's body, every cell in her body knows she's pregnant before she does. So this is happening. And when I realized it was happening, I was like, okay, so I just continued with the ASEA, and compared to the other miscarriage that I've had, it was about half the time. The pain was definitely less severe. And what was interesting is the whole grief process was like, now I've been studying oneness, and I'm working through A Course in Miracles, so I definitely have other avenues of this. But what was interesting to me is that this was the fastest I have been able to work through the grief process and come to acceptance. And it was almost like I was able to stay connected to that that source of peace and love that we are at the core of our being, while still going through the human aspect of it. It was like you were saying, like there is just this connection, like it heals the pineal gland. And not saying that, my pineal gland wasn't uncalcified before, I believe that it is, and that happens over the course of someone's spiritual awakening. But there was just something different. And what's interesting about the ASEA is that these things are noticeable, but they're very subtle. Very subtle. It's very natural. It's not like, I don't know what the word is to describe it. When a process happens naturally and you're giving your body something that it normally makes on its own, just not enough of as you get older, the processes that happen they just seem more fluid, more natural, more I don't know. Mercury retrograde is coming, and for me, Mercury retrograde is like a chunk between what's going on in here and what comes out of here.
It's okay. And I tell you, it's, and that's what we're finding out more and more. So as we go through this journey, and, for those that are watching, number one, thank you for watching. This is not an infomercial about ASEA. This is about a real experience, a real human experience that can help you elevate and help you get to another level. We don't even associate to this as a product anymore. We talk about it as like an experience, because for us, it's a journey. It's like every day. Like, so I would say to you, it's been, Emmie, probably a little over a year that we've been on it. And a lot of these things, you think that, okay, well, I'm going to hit a brick wall in a few months and, I'll feel good. And there you go. And it levels out and you plateau. This just keeps getting better and better and better and better. I mean, you literally can feel like, if people subscribe to the fact that there's a spirit living in us, you literally can feel the shells, if you would, coming off. There continually becomes a better and stronger, more refined version of you that keeps popping out month after month after month. Chronologically, age doesn't seem to matter, because you're vibrating. It's like you become very linked with your universe. You really do. You become very linked with your universe. And so when you have things like what you went through, it's like your universe is helping you funnel that out. Your higher consciousness, the different dimensions of yourself all of a sudden open up to help you handle these situations. Look, I run multiple businesses, which I have to be on point every minute. I have to be on point everything. And they're different businesses. They're not the same where they just kind of merge together. I have to turn on one hat and go to other hats if I need to. And again, this allows me to do that without a struggle. You know what I mean? It allows me to do these kind of things without a struggle. So, a couple of things. I even talked to, on our show, Spiritually Raw, we've interviewed a lot of psychics, a lot of readers, and, spiritual guides, if you would. Over and over and over and over again, they all say, even the ones that are at the top of their game, they say their readings, their advice to their customers are so much better because of this. Somehow, some way, this unlocks something within us. I don't know what it is. I'm not a scientist, but it feels pretty damn good. So, you know what I mean, is really what I know. And I think that's what most people care about at the end of the day. Number one, will it hurt me? I don't know. It's salt and water. There's two ingredients in this thing, salt and water. Now, it's not salt water when it's done. Once they put it through its patented process, it's whatever's in here. And, I'm sure there's only a couple of people, on the planet that knows actually what that looks like. But that's it. So it's not going to be harmful to you. It's not going to interact with anything. You don't have to change your lifestyle to try. You don't have to stop taking anything to do it. You continue what you're doing. You start it and you continue how you're doing, and you kind of get a benchmark and say, okay, look, here, I started it today. I'm still going to continue your things. Your body is just pretty cool. Like we always say, oh, listen to your body, listen to your body. Well, guess what? Your body's going to start speaking now for the first time. All of a sudden, you really are going to hear your body talk to you. Your intuitive gut will tell you, your intuitive sense, will tell you, hey, I don't need as much of that anymore. Or yeah, maybe give me a little bit more of that. Or I was taking the wrong thing over here. You get to be the intuitive for your own self. It's a pretty amazing thing, that I'm experiencing at this age. I'm like, man, I do shows on this stuff for a living, and, but to actually experience it myself, is just a whole other thing. I mean, I've talked about these conversations for years, but to actually experience it and go through the fact that, you know, our body does have the ability to do these. It does have the ability to reverse the aging process. It does have the ability to heal itself. It does have the ability to, you know, create manifestation. I mean, all these different things like we only talk about or in the books that are only read in books, to experience these things because something was able to unlock what's already within us. It's a pretty magical thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know I talked about the miscarriage right off the bat, because that was like the most profound thing that I noticed, but there have been so many others. Like, for example, I just I've had this low level of generalized pain in my body, just very low level. And that was gone within like 3 or 4 days, just gone. You know, I have a level of fatigue, or I had a level of fatigue. You know, I'm a very busy woman. I have 7 children plus my stepdaughter. I homeschool. I operate a YouTube channel. I own my own business. I see clients. I help my husband with his business. There's just a lot. Like you were saying, you have a lot of different hats that you wear. And what I'm noticing is that I'm able to have this sense of peace and calm, whereas before, operating everything was stressful. I was just like stressed and like frustrated, and I would, when the kids would interrupt me, I'd get kind of snippy, you know, here and there. So one of the things that I've noticed is that I just feel calmer. I'm able to handle all of the stuff coming at me and still have, you know, a smile on my face and not be so irritated or irritable. So that's been really nice. Oh, my skin. So this was probably the one that I could probably toot out there and you know, draw the most attention, but you know, I'm not advertising. This isn't advertising. I really care about people's health and wellness, and since this is helping me so much, I would like people to hear about it. So in 2019, I lost 100 pounds. And, you know, when you lose that much weight, you have excess skin, right? You have loose skin. Well, I don't really care about the loose skin on my body. You know, I'm 46 years old. I don't really care. But this right here always bothered me. I always had like this crepey, you know, loose skin here. So I was putting the Renew 28 on a bug bite, and I had some extra left over. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna rub it right here. And I noticed like kind of right away there was like some tightening that was going on. And I'm like, I wonder if that's, you know, just because I put something there. You know, sometimes when you put lotion on, your skin can tighten up a little bit. Well, I decided, okay, I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna put the excess, whenever I put it on my body, I'm just gonna put the excess on my neck. Well, after 2 days, I looked in the mirror and that crepey skin is gone. Like it just looks like the rest of my skin.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was just like, are you freaking kidding me? You know how many creams and lotions and like I would get those devices that you could, you know, it would spin around and exfoliate your skin. Like I tried so many things. And here I was just using the extra from bug bite. Oh, by the way, it takes the itch out of bug bites instantly. It takes the burn out of burns. I burnt my finger on the oven. It takes the burn out of burns like instantly. And whatever you've got going on whatever you've got going on topically on your skin, like it speeds the healing process up like tenfold.
Yeah. Yeah. People order this stuff so much. This is like the biggest statement people talk about is like they want to bathe in this stuff. You know, like you said, I mean, you know, tightening up, you know, the skin, you know, the bug bites, the rashes, the joint.
Sunburn.
I mean, everything. Sunburn is amazing. I mean, we live in sunny South Florida, and it's hot here. And I know that we were with family, and April used this and not sunscreen. She didn't get burned at all. They had that really the heavy duty sunscreen on it. I think it's the 50 or something is what they call it. So they were red, nasty, sticky, right? This absorbs right into your skin. It's not gonna, you don't even know it's on there. But anyway, no burn at all. No burn at all, nothing.
Wow.
Well, that's it. So we're just this is it. We use, even though it's not necessarily say it's a sunscreen product, so we use it for it because, you know, remember what it's doing. If we put it on the face and the sun's causing damage, it's amplifying the signaling to that area at the same time. So it's letting the body know where to go and do its work. I mean, this stuff works fast. I mean, if you want to believe that what we're talking about is real, this may take whatever. Some people feel it, you know, quickly. Some people it may take a couple of months. This right here, if you rub this on someone wherever 3 times in 5 minutes, or just you're going to know in minutes that this worked. You know, rub it on the area that you feel like you have discomfort on, and you're going to know within minutes, hey, this will make you a believer. This will make anybody a believer in this technology called redox. And next thing you know, once you try this, you're not going to want to give it up. You know what I mean? You know, life is just better without it. I mean, you know, it's not that the stuff doesn't happen in life. It's just that your ability, like what you went through, Emmie, it's just your ability to be able to handle things is at a much different place. It's just a different way of being. I mean, stuff happens. Shit happens all the time in our lives, right? It's how you handle it. So this gives you about that feeling about to handle it too. So, you know, we looked at it as an obligation. You know, obviously, yes, it's a business, and obviously people can buy hair, but for us, it was more of an obligation. It was like, look, you know, people have got to know that this technology exists. They have to know that there is legitimate hope out there for people, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it can really save a person's life. And by save a life, I mean, like, you could be living instead of enduring.
Right. Right. I get you on that. I get you. So it is pretty cool though. And I say my favorite part about there, the aesthetic benefits, feeling like I do at my age and inside and outside. I would say my favorite part is my intuition, my connection with my source. That's my favorite part. I'm very, very tapped in. I mean, I feel like I'm seeing in panoramic. If I want information to my different dimensions or my different aspects of myself, my different levels of consciousness, I feel like I tap those pretty easily. And they're validated by what happens throughout my day that, hey, this is the real deal that's happening on there. That's cool. That's a pretty awesome feeling. It really is.
Heck yeah. That's
Yeah.
jackpot.
That's total jackpot. It really is, because you stay in the moment. You know, again, whatever one's faith is what their faith is. So it's like whatever, but it gets you closer to that. It makes what you've been taught real. It brings it to life. It takes it out of a book and brings it to life, is what I'm saying. Whatever your religion is, I'm not even talking about that, but whatever one believes, it just makes it real because that consciousness opens up and connects with it.
That's incredible. I wasn't even thinking about that piece.
Yeah, that's my favorite piece, though, I would say. Yeah.
That is really interesting.
Yeah. So I hope people try it. I really do. I hope they give it a go. You know, there is money back guarantee, so everybody knows, right? So, you know, within like they're a big company, so they're based out of Utah, so it is, you know, done here in the United States for those interested, and they're in 30. I think they're in 34 countries right now. So yeah, so they're in 34 countries. So you just have to find out, you know, make sure your country's on the list.
Okay. So for my viewers, if you guys would like to give this a go, Jay has offered to provide his phone number so that we could help you place an order to make sure that you're getting the best price possible, and just to walk you through the process. I know when I was signing up, you had to wait a little bit after you clicked the one button to move forward. And if you would have clicked it more than once, it might have been charged more than once, type of a deal. And I'm not trying to scare anybody away. Definitely not. But it does make it a lot easier if you have someone on the phone with you walking you through the ordering process. So
yeah, so you know, so we're on the breakthrough of our lifetime. We have the breakthrough of our lifetime, everybody. What they haven't been able to tighten up yet, but I know they're working on it, so they're putting everything into it. Their technology is not the greatest as far as the ordering system, so that's why, listen, I'm happy to help. I mean, I believe in it to the point of, we'll walk you through it. Either one of myself or one of our associates will walk you through it to make sure you order the right way, make sure you don't pay too much. Most importantly, you order the right way, because if you do this, if you say, okay, hey, I want to give this a go, we're going to show you exactly what are the things that giving you the best chance of this actually working for you. So what you're watching on this video right now, that this experience is, that we can hopefully help you duplicate.
Awesome,
So
awesome.
call that number and we'll set up a chat with you and walk you right through it. And we'll also, Emmie, before we even talk to anybody, we send them a couple of other resource videos for them to review so they can take a look. I encourage everybody to go to a site called realredoxresults.com, realredoxresults.com. The password will be redox, REDOX in lowercase, and look at whatever the different things are. You know what I mean? There's testimonials on there from people with different issues, and click on it, something that you may be going through, and see what other people have to say about it before you even call us.
Yeah, that site was pretty cool. I went and checked that out myself, and was quite surprised at the amount of different things that this is helping with. And I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. It's really remarkable.
It really is.
It really is.
Yeah. So yeah, we hope we hope and pray everybody gets a good go. We hope they feel like we do. And I want to thank you for, of course, having me on here today to be able to share it out there through your world.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jay. It was great having you on.